in the kitchen, I'm meal prepping for breakfast. I'm using Jimmy Dean sausage. I'm going to ground this up and cook it until it's well done. And I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. This week for meal prepping, I'm keeping it simple. I'm making the same main thing for the entire week. I'm going to be making some spinach egg muffins. However, I'm not going to put the potatoes in there, so I'm just going to be doing the ground sausage, eggs, spinach, and cheese. For meal prepping, it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. You can make it simple. Sometimes you just want to make sure you get a solid breakfast in for each day, and then that way the rest of the week you have breakfast ready to go. So I'm going to mix up some eggs in the measuring cup and then add a little bit of milk to that. And then I have my muffin pans, and I'm going to fill them with sausage. And then add in some spinach. Pour in the eggs. And then add some grated cheese on top. And these are ready to go into the oven. This didn't take very long to make, and then you just throw them in the oven, let them cook, and until they're well done, you insert a toothpick and they come out clean. It's usually around 20 to 30 minutes. These are done, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the oven. I'm going to let them cool for a few minutes, and I'm going to gather the rest of the items that we will be using for the meal prepping for the breakfast. I've let these cool for a bit, and we're ready to get started on meal prepping for the week. Like I said, I kept it simple this week. We have the spinach egg muffins, and then I'm adding in these Made Good granola bars. I have the birthday cake flavor. I have the chocolate chip flavor. And then in the granola bites, I have the strawberry flavor. I've really been liking this brand, the Made Good brand. These are made in a dedicated peanut and tree nut free facility. They're certified organic, non-GMO. They contain nutrients from vegetable extracts. They're certified gluten-free. They contain 8 grams of whole grains per serving. They're vegan and they're kosher. And what I like about these is that a lot of the granola usually is gluten-free, but they have nuts. These Made Good bars and granola do not have the nuts, so they're gluten-free and no nuts. And if you're counting calories, the birthday flavor had 110, and the chocolate bars and the granola bites only have 100. And also, these are free from the top 9 allergens, so anything that you may be allergic to, this covers it, and they are really good for people who do have allergies to foods. And then I have the apple cinnamon chips, and the calories on these is 120, and that's a half a cup. However, I don't usually ever eat a half a cup of the cinnamon chips. And then I have some strawberries. Got these from Sam's. They looked really good this week. And then we have some blueberries. So for Monday, I'm using the container with 3 dividers. And then I'm adding in 2 spinach egg muffins. In the smaller section, I'm adding in a handful of blueberries, a couple of strawberries. In the other smaller section, the apple cinnamon chips. And this completes Monday's meal. For Tuesday, I'm using a container with 2 dividers. For the bigger section, I'm going to add in 1 spinach egg muffin. For the smaller section, I'm adding in the made good granola bites. And then I'm adding in a couple of strawberries. This completes Tuesday's meal. For Wednesday, I'm using the container with 3 dividers. In the bigger section, I'm adding in 1 spinach egg muffin. In the smaller section, I'm adding in strawberries. In the other smaller section, I'm adding in the made good chocolate chip granola bar. And then I'm also going to add a couple of blueberries to the strawberries. And this completes Wednesday's meal. For Thursday, I'm using the container with 2 dividers. In the bigger section, I'm adding in 1 spinach egg muffin. In the smaller section, I'm adding in the made good birthday cake flavor granola bar. And then I'm adding in 1 strawberry. And this completes Thursday's meal. For Friday, I'm using the container with 3 dividers. In the bigger section, I'm adding in 1 spinach egg muffin. In the smaller section, I'm adding in strawberries. And then on the other side of the smaller section, a couple of blueberries. And this completes Friday's meal. I've meal prepped this week for me, my husband, and my daughter. I didn't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so I just made spinach egg muffins for the entire week, added some granola bars and some fruit to it. I'm going to go ahead and get the lids on here. Meal prepping doesn't have to be hard or spending a lot of time in the kitchen, but we have breakfast ready for us to go every morning this week, and I'm going to get this out into the fridge, and then each day we will go out to the fridge that's in the garage, take our breakfast for the morning, heat it up for a minute or 2, and it will be ready to go. You can find the full menu in the description box down below. Enjoy, breakfast is served. Thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know if you meal plan for breakfast for the week. We'll see you next time in the kitchen.